Good morning, girls. Today we're going to learn about neural control and coordination. In this, we are going to learn about the central nervous system. The central nervous system plays a very important role, which includes brain and the spinal cord. And let us learn about the brain. The brain, it's a living supercomputer. We can even say it's a living supercomputer because this is the only one which is a site for information processing and control. So it is protected by a brain box. I've told you already in the beginning that this brain is covered by a brain box. Okay, and we have three connecting tissues which are called as cranial meninges, namely the dura mater, arachnoid mater, and pia mater. So, what is this durometer? Durometer is the outer thick double layered membrane which lines the inner surface of the cranial cavity. And arachnoid matter is a thin webby medial membrane covering the brain. It is separated from durometer by a narrow subdural space. And parameter is a thin innermost membranes. In this way, our brain box consists of three different layers. One is the first one, dura mater, next one is arachnoid mater and pia mater. These three layers protect the brain from any damage or any shocks. So these three layers play a very important role. Now coming to the brain. So what is a brain? Can you all see the diagram here? The brain, which has three different layers or three different major parts which are called forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. So today I'm going to explain you the different parts of the brain. Yes, coming to the forebrain. What is forebrain? So now coming to the brain, I've told you already that the brain is divided into three parts. This part is called forebrain, and this part is called midbrain, and this is called hindbrain. So I'm going to explain you the parts of the brain again. The forebrain. What is forebrain? The forebrain plays a very major part. This part is called as a forebrain, the upper part of our brain, which is called a forebrain. The forebrain is further divided into olfactory bulb, and we have cerebrum, which is the largest part of the brain, and diencephalon. Okay, the forebrain is divided into this part, which is called to be as cerebrum. This is called cerebrum. This part is the major part of the brain. Okay, and this is called to be as this is the one part of the forebrain. Then we have olfactory bulb inside this. Okay, and then we also have a diencephalon inside. Okay, these three plays a very important part of the forebrain. Then coming to the midbrain, again the diencephalon is further divided. The diencephalon is further divided into three parts. That is epithalamus and thalamus. Epithalamus cannot be seen here, but it is inside this. This epithalamus and thalamus, and this is thalamus part, and this is called the hypothalamus. This part is the one which is coming under diencephalon. This whole part is called diencephalon. So diencephalon is also a part of forebrain. So forebrain, when you are discussing about forebrain, you have to remember that there are three important parts of forebrain. One is olfactory bulb, then we have the major part cerebrum, and then we have the diencephalon. Diencephalon, which has epithalamus, which is inside, and then we have thalamus, then comes the hypothalamus. This all forms the forebrain. And now coming to the second one, what is that? That is the diencephalon. Already explained you all. Now we have the midbrain. So midbrain is also the one which is the center. This part is called as a midbrain. This is a major very important. And usually nervous disorders, a person who is having Parkinson's will have the person who is having a Parkinson's disease will have this problem in the midbrain only. This person will have these midbrain functions very less in case of Parkinson's and Alzheimer's disease. So midbrain is a one more important controlling unit which is present inside the brain in the mid. That is what is given as a midbrain. And here even our visual, the way we do and the visual means nothing but the how can we view the things? How can the sight of our sight and the hearing part is controlled in this midbrain. So hearing and the visual and auditory things are all being controlled by this midbrain. And now coming to the last part is nothing but the hindbrain. So this part is called the hindbrain. Hindbrain is also one important part where it is connected to the spinal cord here. This spinal cord is the center part. This is the spinal cord, and this hindbrain is connected to this. So hindbrain is further divided into pons. We have the pons here, and we also have the cerebellum, and we also have the medulla oblongata. This is the medulla oblongata. So these are the important things to be remembered. So this is part is called the hindbrain. And now I've told already in the beginning, I've told you in the forebrain, the cerebrum is the first largest part of the brain. And the second largest part is the cerebellum. The second largest part is called the cerebellum, which has so many convolutions. Can you see this? There are so many fissures and downs and ups. Okay? This is the cerebellum, which is a very, very important part of the brain. Okay, this is the second largest part of the brain, and this comes under hindbrain. And in hindbrain, we have the pons. Can you see this pons? It's a joint which is connecting to the spinal cord. This pons, and this is the cerebellum, and this part is called medulla oblongata. Okay, and now coming to this pons, this is the pons. This pons will be regulating the air. How much of the air should enter into our body is been regulated by this pons. And coming to the cerebellum, I've told you this is the second part of the brain. And then we have lastly medulla oblongata, which has three parts. This is the anterior part and posterior, and we have follicular lobes. These are the three lobes which are present inside this, and they only control our swallowing part. How do we swallow the food, and how we vomit, and even coughing and sneezing is also controlled by this medulla oblongata. The medulla oblongata, which is there here, this plays a very important role. It helps in the swallowing and vomiting and coughing and sneezing part. And this is about the brain. Okay, once again I'm going to explain you what is brain. The brain, which is a very important living supercomputer, which plays a very important role in making decisions and thinking. Your memory, everything is been processing and controlling. Everything is done by this brain. Without this brain, we are no more there to take the decisions. And now coming to the brain, I've told you all we have three parts of the brain. That is forebrain. This part is called the forebrain, and this part is called the midbrain, and this is called the hindbrain. So in forebrain, I've told you all we have olfactory bulbs, and we have the cerebrum, and we have the diencephalon in this part. And now coming to the for midbrain. Midbrain is the one which is here, which plays a very, very important role for visual and your auditory. The way you see, the way you hear, this all has been controlled by the midbrain. And last comes the hindbrain. The hindbrain consists of pons and cerebellum and medulla oblongata. I've told you this. Cerebrum is the largest part of the brain, and the cerebellum is the second largest part of the brain. And this comes under the hindbrain. Why we are calling it as hindbrain? Because this part is the connecting with this part connects with the spinal cord. Okay, and here coming to this pons. This pons is the one which is very, very important in regulating the air inside your body. And now come to the cerebellum. Cerebellum, we have it's a second part, and it plays a very, very important role in taking decision and memory part. Okay, and now coming to the medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata is the only one which helps in the sneezing part. Your sneezing, your vomiting, and your the coughing and even swallowing, all have been controlled by this medulla oblongata. And this medulla oblongata and pons again lead into a spinal cord. This part is called the spinal cord, which is very, very important. The spinal cord has two types, two important things to be remembered in the cerebrum, the spinal cord. The spinal cord has a cervical the enlargement and lumbar enlargement. Cervical is nothing but in the neck portion. The spinal cord is called have a cervical enlargement, and in case of lumbar is nothing but just below to this called lumbar. These plays a very, very important role in taking up many of your decisions. It has a gray matter and a white matter inside this. And I forgot to say you all children, the brain also consists of gray matter and white matter. In the same way that this will be continuing into spinal cord. Spinal cord also will have a gray matter and even the white matter. So this is about the brain and its importance, and it is in its function. And I think you all have followed what I've explained you for today. And just you can whenever you have a time, you can just open it and just review what exactly I've explained you all today.